This video will show you how I set up the general settings for a brand new blog or website. So most of these titles and taglines are set up when you do the push button install from WordPress. But I always start here in settings to make sure that everything's the way I like it. We'll start in the general area, and so update the tagline here. And you don't necessarily have to do this if you're going to use, say, an image or a logo. But if you're going to use the text portion for the title, you definitely want to make a title and a tagline, keyword specific if you can. Update your email address if that's not already done. The next thing I do is like to get my time zone correct. In my case, it's Detroit, so we'll update that. I leave everything else the same, and we'll save the changes. Okay, this verifies that the settings were saved, and then I go to the next category, writing. This is not necessarily always 20 lines, but I like 20 lines to give me plenty of space. I do a lot of my actual writing inside the WordPress editor, so 20 lines gives me lots of space to be able to see what I want to see there. I usually already have created my categories before I go and update these settings, and I like to change my default post category from uncategorized to blog. That way it's always in a specific logical category. The link category, you can change that if you want to blog roll. Sometimes I'll have additional link categories, so you can update that, but generally I just leave that alone. And then these are always unselected, and I always check the remote publishing, both the Atom and the XML RPC. That way you can publish from third-party blogging tools. And then the ping services, I just leave the same. We'll save the changes. And then we'll go to the next category, reading. Here I don't change anything, so we'll just move from here to the next one, but I always look at it because sometimes WordPress with different versions will update things in each of these menus, so you at least want to take a look at them if you're installing a new WordPress instance, just in case they've changed something here that you don't like as far as the default settings. And then we'll go to discussion. And then the only thing I change here is normally this particular box is unclicked, automatically close comments after on articles older than 14 days. I go ahead and check that because you'll find a lot of times spammers will look for older articles to spam, and by closing the comment section after 14 days, generally you're not going to get a lot of comments after that anyway, and it certainly reduces your spam significantly. And then I leave everything else the same. Sometimes I switch this. Let's go ahead and switch this because I use Gravatar for the individual person's logos. That way if they don't see their picture in the comment, they'll know how to go and fix that by going to Gravatar and loading up an image. So you can, let's go ahead and switch that from Mystery Man to Gravatar, and we'll save the changes. Seems to be taking too long, so I'll go ahead and hit that again. Okay, verified that it's saved. Media, go through here, and the only thing I change here is I uncheck the organize my uploads into month, year, and base photo. I like to have it all in just all my images in one particular directory. I think that's easier to manage than having them broken off into individual months and years that I've uploaded them. So I'll save the changes there. And then click the privacy. I always check this to make sure that my site's visible. Occasionally on installs I've seen it default to this I want to block search engine, which certainly we don't want to ever do. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that that's clicked, and it is, so I don't need to save the changes. And then the permalinks is the last thing I do. The default is up here. Let's get this weird number convention. I always change this to custom structure, and then I enter the post name, and that's what that'll look like. You may not have it, so you have to type it out. So it's just a %, post name, %, and close with another /, and we're going to save the changes. And we're done with all of our basic new installation settings.